Man City have drawn the derby with United. What a game, guys. It was not very fun, not very exciting to watch. Sometimes you take a dull, not exciting point, and then sometimes, 1-0 will suffice. This was a little different. I, of course, would have taken the 1-0 had we gotten a goal, just because we need the points at this point in the season. We're not challenging for the title, but we are challenging for top five in the Premier League. And I feel like, and a lot of City fans feel like we let one slip yesterday. Should have been able to get the 3 points against in all honesty, really poor United side. So let's dive into that. But of course, do like and subscribe. If you are new, let me know what you guys think of the derby and what you think of City going forward. Let me know in the comments section. We are pushing for 150 subs. So any help towards that, always appreciated. Now, let's get into the review here. I have FOTMob pulled up, as always, with the lineup and with the player ratings for the game. They're a little bit... I've looked at them in a bit, and I think they're a bit misleading. A lot of green for City, and some green, a lot of orange for United. I don't think that's a fair reflection on the game. In reality, I feel like United had the better chances to score. Garnacho had a header that he probably should have put in. Bruno had a free kick in a very dangerous area that was a poor attempt. Other than that, there's not a whole lot of opportunity for them. For us, Marmoush gets in behind. Great ball from Nico O'Reilly, and his shot is blocked. Not much else was there. It was 90 minutes of pretty boring and poor football, in all honesty. So Ederson did make a nice save late in the game on Xerxes. That's another chance United had. Off memory, I can't think of many moments City had where I was like, man, we were right there. We were so close. We almost scored. And that's alarming. When you look at the players there, you think, surely we have a couple of goals in us. Marmoush, good goal scorer. Foden typically is a good goal scorer. De Bruyne, goal creator, of course, as we all know. But other than those three players, I mean, Bernardo Silva, not a goal threat whatsoever. Kovacic, not a goal threat whatsoever. Gundogan used to be, of course, a great goal threat. Not sure how many he has this season, but it's no more than 2 or 3. Not a threat. And then you have Josko and Diaz, who are threats on set pieces. O'Reilly and Nunes can get forward a bit, but obviously not goal scorers. So it's a bit of disconnect from what we hope probably will happen as a City fans versus what we get to see on the pitch. Glaring omission, of course, Nico Gonzalez does not play. Seems like it was just he wasn't hurt and he just didn't play, and that's what Pep decided to do, and that's something we have to accept, which is strange. I think most City fans would agree he has improved our midfield when being able to play since coming in January. And, I mean, most people would probably have him as one of the first names we put on the team sheet just for that fact that he can do some things that other players in our midfield cannot. For example, he is young. He's got some athleticism to his game. Basically the opposite of Bernardo, Kovacic, and Gundogan. That midfield trio, while once was great, no longer really is. Bernardo ran his heart out yesterday. He always gives 100%, and I respect him as a player, of course, but going forward, progressive passing, goal threat, he doesn't offer much anymore. Kovacic never has been much of a goal threat in his entire career. This might be his highest scoring goal season of his entire senior career. And Gundogan, he's 34. How much can you expect from a 34-year-old who's starting his third game in 8, 9, 10 days? It's just not a lineup that filled a lot of people with confidence. And before the game, people were obviously very upset on Twitter, raging, where are the wingers? Where's Nico Gonzalez? Where's Kusanov? I don't know. Nunes did all right, I thought. He wasn't horrible at right back, but even in the post-game press conference, Pep drops the line. He's not clever enough in midfield, in composure. And maybe there's a bit of lost in translation for Pep's English there. It sounded harsh, though, to me, saying someone is not clever enough in the midfield when we purchase him to be a midfielder for 50 million plus pounds. I don't know, seems weird there to say that he's not clever enough in midfield in composure. And I don't think he's wrong. I don't think he's good enough as a midfielder to play for us, but I feel like that's something you probably should know before you purchase the player, which again is one of the aspects that people say, Nunes was a bit of a panic buy after we didn't get our initial targets that summer, whether it was Jude, Lucas Paquetá, or Declan Rice. So he definitely wasn't first choice. Whether it's a panic buy, I don't know if I would say it's a panic buy, but that is what happens sometimes when you purchase players that are not A or B listers that you had, and you get down to your fourth, fifth option. They're going to be missing qualities that the guys at the top of your list have and that you missed on. So recruitment, obviously a big focal point of City fans right now. Anyway, that's a discussion for another video. Let's look at the stats from yesterday. Again, City dominate possession 60% or so to 40% for United. But with that, only 9 shots, 5 on target, 1 big chance. Not enough. Not enough creativity in the team. Maybe it's a tactical thing. Maybe it's a players aren't good enough anymore thing. Maybe it's both. I don't know what the exact problem is, but it's a similar story to what we've seen most of the season. And it's unfortunate because we need the points. We need to qualify for Champions League so the club can strengthen in the summer. And when you drop points to a team like United, and of course United are a huge, massive club, they're in 14th, 13th place. We should be able to score a goal on them at their place. It's a rivalry. I would have liked more passion, more aggressiveness than what we saw yesterday. They had 13 shots to our 9, like I said. If you look, we had almost double their passes, which is kind of typical of what City do. 21 clearances to 18. Again, they had 6 saves, but none of them were impressive saves for Onana. They were short rollers that Onana collected, or they were lobs in, or he just caught. He didn't dive for anything, made no amazing saves. We didn't really test the guy. And he's got a bit of a howler in him anyway, so that's another surprising and a bit deflating fact that we couldn't get anything on target really that you would expect would be a goal. And that's as seen by this XG of 0.4 in open play. So annoying stats, annoying lineup, and we end up with a draw. So it is what it is. If you look at the table now, this is after Newcastle have played. They, of course, beat Leicester 3-0. No problem for them. They've got United next, but they do have a game in hand. We have dropped to 6th place in the table, which is outside of the Champions League places. And to be honest, Newcastle look very good lately. I imagine they're going to go past Chelsea following this United game once they're on 31 games played. And it'll be really a battle of 5th between Chelsea, City, and Villa, which I would hope we can win. Chelsea do play Newcastle later this season. I think City arguably have the easier run-in of 7 games left. No one in the top half except for Villa and Fulham, I believe we play. Maybe we have Bournemouth as well. Let's take a look just to see our fixtures here, who we have. Palace at home. I would hope we can win that game on Saturday. Everton, a tough one. We still should be looking for the win there. Huge one against Villa. A win obviously is huge for Champions League places. This is the FA Cup, so it doesn't affect the league. Then you have Wolves struggling near the bottom of the league. Southampton, one of the worst Premier League teams I've ever seen in my life. Bournemouth, a good one, but struggling as of late. And we finished the season at Fulham. So, to me, those are not, we don't have any, top 5 contending teams left to play, whereas Newcastle and Chelsea do play each other. Someone's got to drop points. So if we win out, we do qualify for Champions League. That is a huge ask. Winning out 7 straight games, not something that I expect City to do with this squad. But I have said for some time, I believe 66, 65 points gets that done. 7 games, we need 13 points. That's, roughly averaging 2 points a game. It's doable. It's not out of reach. I know a lot of fans on Twitter are panicking that we're going to drop into the Europa League. Maybe we do, maybe we don't, but it is vital that we qualify for the Champions League. The prize money differential is massive, and that's what you use to fund your transfers in the summer. So, big few months or so coming up for City. I will, of course, be dropping more videos talking about transfers, doing watch-alongs like there will be one on Saturday, and live streams discussing with you guys so I can hear your thoughts on everything. Anyway, thank you for watching. Leave a like and a comment. Let me know, of course, like I said, what you guys think of City, the transfers, and what's going on with the squad. Are you pep out? Are you pep in? There's a lot of conversation to be had. So anyway, thank you for watching. I'll be back very soon.